7 years ago today, a nuclear warhead was detonated in Los Angeles.
In 2055, a nuclear warhead detonated in Los Angeles as a result of the US government-created AI, resulting in the deaths of over 1 million people. The military initiates a campaign to eliminate all AI throughout the nation, facing opposition from New Asia, who protect the remaining AI as their own citizens. The USS Nomad, North American Orbital Mobile Aerospace Defense, a colossal space station, is established to scan the land for any traces of AI in order to eradicate them and locate the alleged Nirmata, the AI's creator. A decade into the conflict, Sergeant Joshua Taylor resides in Ko Nang, New Asia, with his pregnant wife Maya. Maya possesses a stronger bond with the AI than Joshua, who has a prosthetic arm and leg. One night, their home is intruded by a squad of droid officers led by Harun, who bring a soldier inside. Joshua privately interrogates the man, who turns out to be his friend and superior officer Drew. Joshua is operating undercover within his marriage, as his superiors suspect Maya to be Nirmata's offspring. As the external forces launch an attack, Maya discovers the truth about Joshua and flees from him. She manages to escape on a boat, but an explosive dropped by Nomad lands among her group, seemingly killing her, as Joshua helplessly observes. 5 years later, Joshua is now employed at Ground Zero in Los Angeles as a member of a cleaning crew. General Andrews and Colonel Howell approach Joshua, revealing intelligence suggesting that Nirmata is constructing a superweapon in New Asia capable of annihilating Nomad. They seek Joshua's assistance in thwarting this threat. Initially hesitant, Joshua's resolve wavers when Howell presents a holographic video indicating Maya's survival and involvement in the weapon's development. Realizing he is the sole individual familiar with the lab's layout, Joshua agrees to aid in the mission, driven by the prospect of reuniting with his wife. Joshua has joined a crew led by Howell on their way to New Asia. Howell confides in Joshua about her personal grudge against AI due to losing her sons in the war. The soldiers provoke the villagers before attacking the lab, shooting at the technicians as they advance. Joshua decides to separate from the team and stumbles upon a room where he discovers the weapon, a small robot girl watching cartoons. Before Joshua can approach her, a woman guarding the child shoots at him and instructs the girl to flee. A gunfight erupts between New Asia's forces and Nomad's mercenaries. Joshua eventually catches up to the girl and helps her escape by boat. Joshua and the girl find themselves in a lush area near the lake, accompanied by a wounded soldier named Shipley. Inside a house, Joshua finds the girl watching TV. He turns off the TV and witnesses her using her abilities to control electronics remotely, turning the TV back on. Howell contacts Joshua, inquiring about the weapon. Joshua reveals that the child is the weapon, and Howell orders him to eliminate her. As Joshua aims his gun at the girl, he hesitates upon noticing tattoos that remind him of his wife. The situation takes a turn when Howell and her colleague McBride are captured by droid cops. During transport, McBride manages to overpower one of the droid cops in the van, leading to the elimination of all the droid cops as they drive back to their location. Joshua and the child were discovered by an adult droid who was astounded upon seeing the child. The droid made a pledge to the kid to take care of the American, which in this case meant eliminating them. In a swift move, Joshua reached down and grabbed a firearm, shooting into the droid's chest. The sound of the gunshot caught the attention of the droid cops, who swiftly attacked them and hurled a bomb in their direction. However, the child Powers uses a dog to return the bomb to the droid cops, causing a devastating explosion. Sadly, Soldier Shipley met his demise on the road. Prompting Joshua to notice a symbol etched into the child's head, he decided to name the child Alphie. With their car's engine malfunctioning, Joshua and Alfie left the vehicle behind, along with Shipley's lifeless body. Howell stumbles upon Shipley's lifeless body after Joshua gets rid of it. She quickly transfers his consciousness into the droid, trying to know where Joshua and Alfie are heading. Joshua and Alfie are fortunate enough to catch a ride with a kind-hearted family. As night falls, they encounter a checkpoint where Alfie showcases her abilities by disabling the authorities' electronic devices. In the face of danger, Joshua takes control of the van as bullets rain down on them, but they miraculously evade capture, leaving the terrified family behind. Joshua and Alfie proceed to board a bus bound for the city, successfully evading detection. During their journey, Alfie inquires about heaven, to which Joshua responds that he believes only good individuals are granted access to such a place. Upon reaching their destination, they rendezvous with Drew, who has undergone a change of heart regarding the AI community and now resides with his own robot girlfriend, Kami. Drew examines Alfie and determines that she has yet to fully unlock her powers, which possess the potential to make her the most formidable being alive, capable of remotely controlling any technological device from anywhere on the planet. Subsequently, Drew's girlfriend escorts Alfie to her room. Later on, a knock at the door is heard after Kami orders ice cream for Alfie. However, to their dismay, it turns out to be a bomb that tragically kills Kami's life. The new Asian cops begin to aim their fire on Alfie. Meanwhile, the droid head office implores Alfie to accompany them. Just as they are about to harm Alfie, Joshua manages to eliminate all the droid officers. However, their relief is short-lived, as more officers, now joined by Howell and McBride, who have aligned themselves with the droid, arrive and resume their assault. Joshua drives Drew to the location where he and Maya once resided. After an exhaustive search for her, they are spotted by the droid plane, resulting in Drew being shot in the back and gravely wounded. Despite his injuries, Drew assists Joshua in locating Maya's beacon. He also reveals that Maya herself is Nirmata. With this newfound knowledge, Joshua and Alfie flee, but are ultimately apprehended by a team of soldiers led by Haroon. Joshua awakens on a vessel, finding himself confined in a cell. Haroon converses with him, revealing that the Los Angeles warhead incident was due to a human error falsely attributed to the AI. Haroon also recounts how Maya assumed the role of Nirmata after her father's passing. Despite asserting that AI would not harm humanity, Haroon declares that he will not escort Joshua to Nirmata. Meanwhile, the AI becomes agitated upon realizing they are being pursued. Joshua manages to break free from his cell, evading gunfire by leaping into the water and clinging to the ship's hull. Upon reaching a village, Joshua stealthily searches for Alfie to rescue her. Suddenly, Howell and her troops launch an assault on the village, deploying massive machines and a suicide bomb robot. Alfie rushes off to aid her AI comrades, prompting Joshua to swim after her. Another suicide robot advances towards the bridge, but Alfie intervenes, deactivating it with her abilities. McBride shoots and wounds Alfie, but Joshua kills him before McBird eliminates the kid. The robot self-destructs, destroying the bridge in the process. Haroon directs Joshua to transport Alfie to a temple where Maya is being cared for. Haroon informs Joshua that, whether you like it or not, you are now part of our group. Joshua discovers that Maya has been coma for the past 5 years, and due to the robot's inability to harm Nirmata, they cannot disconnect her from life support. Joshua also learns that Alfie is a manifestation of his and Maya's unborn child, whose image was scanned in the womb, essentially making Alfie their daughter. Joshua gazes at his wife one final time, before making the decision to disconnect her life support himself. Howell and her henchmen arrive at the temple, attempting to capture Joshua and Alfie. Haroon throws a bomb towards Howell, but to Howell's surprise, Alfie manages to prevent it from detonating. Unfortunately, Howell's 2 henchmen try to shoot at Alfie, but the bomb explodes, killing all 3 of them. As more forces arrive to attack, Haroon informs Joshua that Nomad must be destroyed in order to bring an end to the war. While making their way out, officers apprehend Joshua and Alfie. Joshua and Alfie are transported back to Los Angeles, where General Andrews orders Joshua to eliminate Alfie. They share a brief, emotional moment before Joshua reluctantly pulls the trigger. On their way to the incinerator, a call from a superior prompts General Andrews to watch the television. He witnesses Joshua hallucinating the act of killing Alfie. Suddenly, the vans lose power and crash on the street, and to everyone's surprise, Alfie is still alive. The two individuals board a lunar shuttle that is bound for Nomad. Andrews realizes the deception too late and starts devising a plan to utilize Nomad to attack the remaining AI bases. Joshua and Alfie navigate their way past armed guards and eject them into space. Alfie temporarily disables Nomad's power using her unique ability, while Joshua attempts to plant an explosive on one of their missiles. As they make their way to an escape pod, Alfie discovers a room filled with humanoid robot bodies and locates one resembling Maya. In an attempt to revive her, Alfie transfers her consciousness into the robot body, but unfortunately, her efforts prove unsuccessful. Andrews activates a colossal tentacle robot as Joshua and Alfie attempt to flee. Joshua successfully disables the robot, but he becomes trapped aboard Nomad after ensuring Alfie's safety. They share a final heartfelt moment, expressing their love for each other before Joshua ejects Alfie. He then steps out and encounters the Maya robot, who recognizes him. They embrace and share a final kiss as the explosive begins to annihilate Nomad, putting an end to the remaining attacks while Andrews and his accomplices watch in defeat. Alfie's escape pod returns to Earth, where she witnesses the jubilation of everyone celebrating Nomad's downfall. A smile forms on her face